Welcome back, everybody, to the Festus Fantasy Football Forum. This is week 12. Happy early Thanksgiving to everybody. Going to be doing a different kind of setup here. With the holiday coming up, I am home, not in my usual setup. So no video. We're going to do strictly screen recordings for this forum video. Going to kind of keep it a little faster as well. I'm going to make up for that, though. I have some pretty good ideas for later on in the week, so stay tuned to the channel if you want to see those things. Hopefully some in-person manager interviews, maybe a podcast, maybe some other things coming down the road here so we can take advantage of seeing everybody in person. But for right now, we're going to just go over the typical setup, but we're going to kind of go through it faster, especially with just a screen recording here. So just showing the ESPN rankings right now. This is not the power rankings that I'll be showing on later, but just wanted to kind of start the video showing this. Here's the divisions for everybody. We'll show the projected playoff bracket as well. Currently, Team Armani and the Guardians getting first round buys based on record and division, but it's pretty competitive right now. A lot of teams 6-5, a lot of teams 5-6, so there's a lot to be looking out for. Also want to show, I don't know how many people actually look at this, but the final standing projections I kind of want to just kind of look at here. Going back from draft day, it's kind of funny now to look at it. And as you can see now, obviously Team Armani up there, the number one. It's kind of reflected in the playoff standings right now. Look at Bigger Than Black and White falling down. Goat Squad falling apart. Oh, it's so sad. So sad. We'll get into that later on in the video. So I hope you guys are excited. As always, we got updated trade block, week 11 reviews, some pretty good games, one really close game. We have weekly awards, both of them this time around, so that'll be fun to watch, and a lot of You Fucked Up awards, a lot of mismanagement this week. Power rankings, as always, and the week 12 previews, plus a primetime game, but we're not going to have any videos from that this week. It was a flex game, though, so no one knows who it is yet until you see this video. Hopefully we can interview the managers later on in the week, like I mentioned outside of this video. So let's get started with the updated trade block. So here it is, onto the trade block now. Like I said, we're doing a screen recording, so we're going to be using the actual thing that I use to, make the trade block. And we have Kenneth Walker from Team DD added to the trade block. This is in light of him getting injured. Try and stay ahead of others also trying to get in the playoffs. Look, he's 5-6. He has to make some moves, and I understand why. Obviously, I think the only person that would want Kenneth Walker at this point is someone who has enough wins to make the playoffs. Maybe give up some games waiting on Kenneth Walker, but for the playoffs, it would be a huge advantage for them. Also, though, I want to highlight George Pickens, also from Team DD. This is pretty embarrassing for him, already putting him up on the trade block when he just traded away Brian Robinson for George Pickens. I think Zach Moss is borderline droppable. I think he's just holding on just in case. And now he's already trying to get rid of Pickens. It's pretty unfortunate. A terrible move right there. That might go down. I think I said it in the video itself, but it's one of the worst trades we'll see this year. And it shows here, Exhibit A. I only have those two for right now. If things get added on later in the week, maybe I'll update it in a new video. However, that is it for the trade block. If anyone wants to look again, here it is, just a refresher. Let's head over and look at the matchup recaps of week 11. Alright, everybody, we're going to be starting off this Week 11 review with the Guardians taking down Thank You Tomorrow 108.76 to 81.8. Both of these teams making monumental trades before this game, and it unfortunately did not pay off for Thank You Tomorrow, and it really did not pay off for the Guardians of Your Mom's House either. The story of this game, as I just said, was all these new players coming in, Devon Achane, Garrett Wilson, Dalton Kincaid, Tank Dell, Aaron Jones for the Guardians. And although Tank Dell was very, very good for the DeMar squad, Achane got hurt. Kincaid, he started off really well, but kind of fell off. And then Garrett Wilson did nothing. And Aaron Jones got hurt. So this was just a game of grittiness, and obviously the Guardians walking away here with the victory, but ugly, ugly performances on both sides. Very, I would honestly say, demoralizing even. I mean, both these guys traded so much for all these players, and to have them, besides Tank Dell, do nothing and get injured. It sucks for both of these managers. We'll have to see how these teams move forward in the next couple of weeks. I think the DeMar team really needs to focus up here. If he wants to make a playoff push, not 5-6 now, not out of it by any means, but not having that winning record at this point in the division that he's in, it's going to be tougher for him. So we really needed this game. He did not get it, but on to next week, obviously. And we're going to keep this going here. Bigger than black and white, taking down Team Doyle 117-110. This is a crazy game. This came all the way down to Monday night, and I did not see this coming whatsoever. Going into that Monday night game, I thought it was just going to be Team Doyle wiping the floor with this competition. He had Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Rashee Rice. I don't think I've ever seen this. A.J. Brown put up less than 2 points. I don't think that's happened in 2 years, maybe even 3 years. Of course, it came on a terrible night for Team Doyle, a game that he needed just as much as the DeMar team, dropping an easy one against the bigger than black and white team. No disrespect to them, he put up a great game. Look at this. Rashad White did really well, Swift did really well, Metcalf, Puka, great performances from all of his players. And look at his bench here. Literally could not do anything better. Literally could not do anything better. It's just an unfortunate loss for Team Doyle. We've all had that loss this year where, you drop a game that you're supposed to win, you dropped a game that you didn't think you'd lose, and it sucks waking up on Tuesday, seeing it again on Wednesday. Nevertheless, a great win for bigger than black and white keeps him out of the last place talk for another week.
How? Hold on, bro. How?
Lamar's backpack with an impressive performance over the Aaron Rodgers Achilles team, winning 125.7 to 107.5. Aaron Rodgers Achilles team made 2 huge trades coming into this week, especially after Mark Andrews went down, and it did not pay off. As we'll get to later with the weekly awards, it cost him. It really cost him. He had great running back play from Jaylen Warren and Darrell Henderson. DJ Moore obviously did great with Justin Fields returning. But Cooper Kupp, new addition, sucked. Got injured, can't do anything about it. Tyler Lockett, new addition, had Tank Dell on the team, left the team, and it cost him. Lamar's backpack, continuing its dominance, putting up 125.5 points. Keenan Allen trade looks like a steal for this team, especially after you see what it took to give him up. Najee Harris might, at this point, be unplayable. But to get Keenan Allen, it's such a good deal. Such a good deal. Had Jaden Reed on the bench too, who looks really good. D-Hop, obviously, sketchy as always. Derrick Henry, sketchy as always. But yeah, I am really proud of the Lamar's backpack squad, running it back this year with the team leader of Lamar Jackson, and just getting it done. Getting it done on all levels this year. It's going to be reflected in the power rankings, trust me, but great win for Lamar's backpack. The Achilles team may be losing its direction, its identity even. We'll have to keep an eye out on the Achilles team in these next 3 weeks. Now, what is considerably, by a large margin, one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen in a loss. Team DD taking down Chubb Checker 98.7 to 98.6. I got a feel here for Chubb Checker. I saw the play. We all saw the play. We were watching it live. Jalen Hurts threw that, 30, 40-yard bomb to Devonta Smith near the goal line. Literally a yard too much. And it cost him. It cost Chubb Checker a win. He's now in last place by himself, sole possession. And now with 3 weeks left, it's not going to be a comfortable place for Chubb Checker. And it sucks because he had so many chances to win. He started Curtis Samuel. He started Tua over Trevor Lawrence. And literally, he could have played anyone. He could have played KJ Osborne, of all fucking people, and he would have won this game. Curtis Samuel, I would cut him. I would send him to the gulag because that's heartbreaking. Team DD, I didn't see this one coming. Devin Singletary is a huge addition, and he's been killing it for Team DD. Justin Herbert as well. With no Jay Jettas, it's staying alive. 5-6, not where this team is supposed to be, but it is. It's here. A couple bad trades. This team's not supposed to be here, but they are, and I respect that. Good for them. Gonna take this win and run with it. Not the only small margin of victory win for this team this year. Take wins where you can get them. And for Chubb Checker, this is a heartbreaker. Heartbreaker for sure. But the season's already lost. He knows it. So now it's just don't get last place.
I just want to talk to him.
Why do you have a shotgun?
I just want to talk to him.
Dad, this is ridiculous.
I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him.
It is not his fault.
I just want to shoot him. I just want to talk to him.
You can't shoot him.
Wait, what? What are you doing?
And for the final afternoon game, this is my upset pick of the week. Obviously, kind of a cop-out answer. I would maybe agree with you, maybe a little bit of a cop-out answer, but I had to. Okay, it was the line discrepancy. Okay, I knew what I was looking at, and look, it happened. The Little Giants, quote-unquote, upsetting the GOAT squad 120-112. This came down to Monday night as well. Travis Kelce could have played Superman, could have played hero ball, could not totally do it. He had a fumble late in the game. Who knows if he would have ended up catching a touchdown from Mahomes. It looked like they were really starting to get going there on that drive, and it just cost him. Look, also quarterback play. The story of the season for the GOAT squad. Quarterback play costing him again. Honestly, just cut him. Like, cut one of them so you stop making this mistake. It happens every single week, it feels like, at this point. Gabe Davis also putting up a fucking dud. As for the Little Giants, a great bounce back win here. CJ Stroud, modest performance, but Jahmyr Gibbs, James Cook, and Tyreek Hill carrying the team on the back. Justin Fields putting up a really good game on the bench. It'll be interesting to see moving forward if he rocks with CJ Stroud or Justin Fields. I don't know. I don't want it to turn into a GOAT squad situation where you're playing the wrong quarterback every single week. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point, because I can already tell it's heartbreaking for the GOAT squad just seeing his season fall apart off of literally just a quarterback every single week. It's insane. But great upset win for the Little Giants, moving my upset pick record to 7-2. Don't mean to brag, but that gets us to the primetime game of Week 11. It was Team Armani taking on the newly named Jaxie Pad squad. That's a fucking terrible name. But Team Armani winning 101.5 to about 81. This was I would say, boring game. I don't know about anyone else. I thought it was pretty boring. Joe Burrow going down Thursday night definitely hurt this team. I think maybe it could have been a little more competitive had he not been injured. It's going to be the Jared Goff show moving forward here, which is cool. You know, I have no problem with that. I don't think he does either. For Team Armani, you know, he's got the Saquon, McCaffrey, and ETN. Look, I said he gets 60 points every week. What he puts up is 61.2 or whatever. He got the 60 points, and I told you guys, that is the scariness of this team. Even if Team Armani wants to say that he doesn't like the team, he's scared of his team, it's boom or bust, it's not, okay? He gets 60 points every single week from his running backs. 60 points. It really doesn't matter because he played against the guy that scored the lowest amount of points in the league this week. Per usual, Jaxie Pad, fuck you for making this your fucking name. This guy right here, he usually puts up the least amount of points. Per usual. He averages really low points. So nothing new there. But Team Armani, look, great win, 8-3. I think this clinches your playoff berth. Not technically, but in my eyes, it clinches it for you. 8 wins, that's all you need, especially with 3 weeks left. And you got a pretty decent schedule. Not the easiest, but you got a pretty decent one coming out here to finish out the season. So great win for you, and excited to see you in the playoffs. Now let's do our weekly awards. I have one play of the week, and it's going to be going to Team DD. And it's going to be for sitting Royce Freeman, who was projected more than OBJ and George Pickens. But these guys scored more, even if it was by 0.4, and it saved him the win. You know, obviously you could have played the high projection game, sat OBJ, sat George Pickens, and he didn't. I respect that. I commend you for that. Great play on your part. Finally had something go your way, let me tell you. Finally had something go your way. And a huge week to do that. And now I have multiple You Fucked Up awards. First, going to the Lamar's backpack and Aaron Rodgers Achilles game. The Achilles team gets the You Fucked Up award. Why do they get the You Fucked Up award? Because they traded away Tank Dell, who scored 28.9 points this week. Would have been enough to beat Lamar's backpack. Even with the other guys in the trade, it would have been enough. As long as he had just kept his same team and played Tank Dell, and then any combination of these guys down here, it would have been enough. Unfortunately, did not happen, and it was an L, a big L for the Achilles team. The next You Fucked Up award is over here at the Chubb Checker and Team DD game. Obviously, Team DD got the play of the week. Chubb Checker got about 38 You Fucked Up awards here. First, just to start off playing an obvious starting Tua over Trevor Lawrence. That was a big miss. And then starting Curtis Samuel over any one of these guys. He could have played absolutely anybody. Dalton Schultz, he's done it before. I don't know why he sat him this week. He could have played Ty Chandler. He could have played Romeo Doubs, who had a great matchup, who he just got from the Guardians. Could have played him, didn't, and I don't know why. This obviously cost him the week, might have costed him his season, and for a last place finish, we'll have to maybe look back on this game when we finish out the year. But this is a tough break. Could have played literally anyone. I might be rubbing salt in the wound. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Finally, for the last You Fucked Up award, you guys knew this was coming. The GOAT Squad messing it up again. And I get it. He was trying to do the exact opposite of what he did last week. He was trying to not overthink it. And I get it. But then you're going up against Tampa Bay, who I think is the worst pass defense right now for quarterbacks. Maybe at least bottom 10, bottom 5. Just missed it again. I think this is the third time now. I think the GOAT Squad has 3 You Fucked Up awards. Very sad there. Very winnable game, too. We're going to end it off right there. We're going to be moving on to the power rankings. So stay tuned for that. Alright, everybody, we're going to be moving on to the power rankings. I was going to do a tier list for this week, but with the time crunch, with kind of everything going on with the holiday, I gotta go back to the original way. Next week, I will do a tier list for, I think that'll be week 13. I'll do a week 13 tier list, and then for week 14, we'll probably do this one more time, and then we'll have stuff going into the playoffs. This week, though, like I said, because of the holiday, we're going to keep it short and simple, though. I'm not going to drag it on. And we're going to start right here at number 12 here. Chubb Checker, no surprises here. He's 3-8, heartbreaking fashion. I won't speak against that. Obviously, Chubb Checker has had some really bad luck this year. I think he'll get a little bit better for this team. Like we've mentioned, the roster's not bad. This guy is a sneaky player here. He has stolen every single win he's got, every single time he's won it. However, Chubb Checker's still 3-8, and I don't think I can move him up. I think he's clearly in the running for last place. In my opinion, he's the favorite right now, if there was any type of, sports betting for this. So, Chubb Checker, number 12. Number 11, Bigger Than Black and White. A huge win last week in week 11, but still, I got him here at number 11. Maybe he could be number 10. I don't know. I got number 11 for him just because of the volatility I've seen with this team. And, the star players like Patrick Mahomes and DK and Chris Godwin, they're just not, performing as consistently good as they have in years past. And that's a big letdown for this team especially. However, there's still some really good pieces. DeAndre Swift is really good. I really like Puka still. I like Michael Pittman. Trust me, I tried to get him. Was not budging on that one. I don't think he's going to get last place. I think he's going to finish out of it. I actually think that last place is going to be between Chubb Checker, as I just mentioned, and number 10. And who is number 10? We have Team Didi. A great win over Chubb Checker last week. I think that was actually a preview for what will be the last place game this year. A fight for last place. I know Team Didi's got more wins. I get it. He's 5-6, but it's a fraudulent 5-6. Let me tell you why. A few of his wins, and by a few I mean most, are within one score games. And one score, I mean, it very small margins. I use one score as in if it's the real NFL. But it's very small margins of victory for this team, and I just think that's fraudulent. I think moving forward in these next couple of weeks, it's got a tough schedule, not an easy one by any means, and this team is going to suffer, especially with Jay Jettas not coming back apparently, or not having the urgency to come back. That was the whole thing for Team Didi, was just wait for Jay Jettas to come back, and he's not. So Team Didi is going to be at number 10. I can see this team falling in later weeks. 100% in the running, though, for last place still. Number 9, I have the GOAT Squad. Just keeps falling, just keeps falling. His roster's not that bad. I don't get it. I think it's just mismanagement. Every single week, it's something. Whether it be Gabe Davis, whether it be the quarterback, whether it be whatever. The GOAT Squad is continuing to lose, and it's heartbreaking to see a lot of these, quote-unquote one-score games, too, just not being on the right side of that.
Gazy, Fugazi, it's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist. It's never landed. It is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not fucking real. Right?
Number 8, I have Thank You Tomorrow. After what we saw this week with the trading, with the panic button, blowing up the team in 80 points, yeah, I mean, that's not going to do it for you. And now I don't know if this team is playoff bound. I think Tank Dell is great. I think Kincaid is serviceable. Other than that, I don't know if this team can really make a good running into the playoffs. I mean, the top 7 guys are all so good. And I say 7, not 6, because the 7 seed is Aaron Rodgers' Achilles falling a lot. Same deal as Thank You Tomorrow. Made a lot of trades. Got really unlucky. More so the Achilles team because of injuries. Cup is injured. Andrews is out for the season. You traded away Tank Dell. You still got Bijan, which is good. You also have Hawkinson, who is a very good replacement for Mark Andrews. The problem is you had Tank Dell, you had Christian Kirk, you had a lot of these guys that would be really good replacements, and you got rid of them. Obviously, Achane you had too. Traded him away, he got injured, you got away with that one. I still think this is a playoff team, currently still is in the playoff picture, but in terms of outlook, I don't know if this team is going to be healthy enough moving forward. I don't know if the consistency is going to be there now that the team is completely different. I don't know what this team is going to look like. I think week 12 will actually be a huge week for the Achilles team, and so I'm excited to see them play. Number 6, Team Doyle. 5-6 team, but I think that was just really unlucky. There's no way in any parallel universe that A.J. Brown scores under 2 points in a Monday Night Football game. The Chiefs secondary is pretty good against the pass, but I mean, it's A.J. Brown, it's A.J. Brown. He sold Team Doyle. It's not his fault. It was a tough L. I could be a guy that says, oh, you're 5-6, well, then you have to be down here where, the DeMar team and go swat it. No, I'm not. I see the outlook. I see the potential of this team. I know who they are. Great trades all season, and it's paying off now, even if the record doesn't show. Brian Robinson's going to be a great addition to this team. Sam Laporta had a couple bad weeks. He's going to get back on track. Like I said, A.J. Brown, he is the guy. He had one bad week. Getting rid of George Pickens is huge. The flex spots might still be a little bit of an issue just because of the volatility there. You don't really have anyone set in stone, no plug-and-play guys. Because like you saw this week, Jerry Jeudy scored more. Rashee Rice is, I think, solid, but there's just volatility there. So I think if you can clean that up, this team is 100% in the playoffs. Number 5, which is the Bengals, which is now called Jackson Pad. I didn't want to fucking update it because it's a stupid fucking name, as I've mentioned earlier. I think that this team right here is super solid. I think Pacheco is a great trade for him. Obviously, losing Keenan Allen is not a good trade, but getting Pacheco is, because I was wrong. I think Najee Harris is going to fall off, is going to regress, and I think Pacheco, if you're going to get any guy for Najee, that's the guy to go get. Especially getting Mike Evans back in return. As long as he stays healthy, he's a 1,000-yard receiver. So I just hope that everyone, for this team's sake, stays healthy. He's in the playoffs right now, 6-5, but he has everyone has a role. Everyone has a carved-out position. Even the flexes, I mean, he's going to really go with matchups, but it's the star power with Olave, with Jamar Chase, with Tony Pollard, Pacheco now. And he's going to ride behind Jared Goff. I think that's actually going to be pretty solid for him. Number 4 here, we have the Guardians. Moving up from recent weeks, look, I think I was disrespecting this team, which I still don't feel super comfortable with. The low points for is a problem, but look, number 2 in the league right now in terms of playoff standings, because he is leading his division, 7-4. It doesn't matter how you win, it's if you win or not. He is 100% capitalizing on every single opportunity that his opponents are giving him. You can see that is not the case for a lot of these other teams down, below. The Aaron Jones trade might haunt this team. We have to still wait on the report of that injury, if he will be out for the rest of the season, fantasy season especially. If he's not, then it's not a lost cause. If he is, that might be the worst trade in this team's history, considering he got him for 2.5 points, and he traded James Conner and Romeo Doubs. 2 solid players, and hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him. With that being said, though, the Guardians continue to ride their star players. Breece Hall, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Adam Thielen. Kyler Murray now is solid. He put up 21 points. The first time a quarterback for this team has put up 20 points in, I think, 6 weeks now? 7 weeks, maybe? And I have the Guardians here at number 4. Based on their division, based on their power rankings of the league, and playoff standings as well. Number 3, though, I have the Little Giants falling again another spot. That's not a knock against them. I think it's still a very solid team. It's just the 2 guys above, I think, just have way better outlooks. I think there will be a little bit of a QB controversy with this team moving forward with CJ Stroud and Justin Fields, something that the GOAT squad themselves has been dealing with. I know it's going to be kind of scary to pick every single week between Justin Fields and CJ Stroud, but this team's going to have to nail it. Along with the flexes, Marquise Brown hasn't been good, Christian Watson hasn't been good, And now you have Jason and Josh Downs on the bench. It's going to be hard to really nail these flexes, but as long as you have Tyreek Hill, as long as you have Jonathan Taylor and Jahmyr Gibbs, James Cook as well, this team's going to be fine. Right? It's a playoff team for sure. Now it's a matter of how far can this team go. Does there need to be a trade made to go farther in the playoffs? Maybe you need to start looking at those playoff schedules for the players. I think I got Little Giants here at number 3. I think it's a solid place. Number 2, I don't think anyone should have saw anyone else here besides Lamar's backpack. I mean, by far and away the best scorer in the league. Getting Keenan Allen is huge. Now, like Team Armani, who we'll get to again, is number 1 as we may have already seen, but Lamar's backpack, like Tony, has 60 plus points every single week. Instead of the running backs, though, he's got it from his wide receivers. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Stephon Diggs, and now Keenan Allen. I would dare say he has 70 points. That's insane to me. 70 points every single week. 70 points is enough to beat teams sometimes. 70 points alone is enough to beat teams. And then you add maybe 10, 20 points extra, guaranteed. This team is, by far and away, I think, the strongest team heading into the playoffs. Even though the record doesn't show, which is kind of concerning. It's kind of weird. I'm not really going to be fazed by it. I don't think I can be. I have to be objective here. I have to be level-headed and see the numbers that Lamar's backpack is putting up. And they're putting up insane numbers. And they're doing that because great trades all year, great management, and it's paying off. D-Hop is scary, in my opinion. But I think you have suitable flexes to, kind of plug and play there along with Keenan Allen now. So, like I just mentioned, though, Team Armani, number 1, 8-3, best record in the league. I think, along with Lamar's backpack, the best all-around roster when it comes to the running backs. I mean, ETN, McCaffrey, and Saquon is just absolutely insane. The workload alone they get. They probably get 60 touches and 60 points. It's insane, the 3 guys that he has there. The trades that he made for those players, absolutely great trades for him. I think they'll definitely be in the running for best trades of the year for Team Armani. But even with that, though, he has solid wide receivers to supplement the points for Team Armani. The only problem that I would say is the quarterback play. There's not a solid quarterback for Team Armani. And some weeks that might cost them. That might. I think having a top 10, top 5 guy is pivotal in fantasy football, even if you maybe disagree. We'll see how this kind of fares, because I think based on the roster, Armani and Lamar's backpack have the same kind of firepower, but it's Lamar's backpack that has the better quarterback, and obviously Lamar Jackson. So we'll see in the playoffs, assuming that they both make it. I think Team Armani has it locked up, so we'll revisit. We'll see how they fare in the coming weeks. But that is it for the power rankings. Alright, everybody, on to the last segment of this Week 12 Forum video. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Hope it's been pretty decent watch for everybody. We're going to be finishing off here with the Week 12 preview, and we got some pretty good matchups. We have a flexed primetime game, which I am excited to show you guys here in a little bit. Maybe you guys can guess while watching. Before we get to that, we're going to be starting off with our quote-unquote early games. And the first one I want to highlight here is Lamar's backpack taking on Thank You Lamar. As we can see here, early projections are heavily favoring Lamar's backpack. I expect that to happen pretty much every game from here on out, just because of how much firepower this team has. And Thank You Lamar, a lot of concerns here with Devon Achane, but you get Alvin Kamara back. He hasn't quite updated his team as of now. I think it's going to be a really big game for both of these guys in terms of scoring. However, I do have Lamar's backpack winning in my official picks, mainly because I just like the matchups for Lamar's backpack. I mean, look at Stephon Diggs going up against Philly. Lamar Jackson, especially going up against the Chargers. Expect him to throw for about 500 yards, maybe rush for 217 touchdowns total. Jerome Ford against Denver as well. I just like the matchups here. Not saying that Thank You Lamar's team doesn't have good matchups as well, but I just think Lamar's team has better. So Lamar's backpack is my official pick. Moving on here, Team Didi taking on Aaron Rodgers' Achilles. Now I am recording this on Tuesday, so a lot of the guys have not updated their teams. So just imagine that, Bijan Robinson is in here for, I would assume, Darrell Henderson. Hawkinson is in there for Andrews, so then you get Chuba or Addison in there in that spot. Either way, the Achilles team is going to be leading in terms of projection totals. Even when Team DD subs out Kenneth Walker, I would assume for Tyler Algier, that's disgusting. or Royce Freeman, I guess. I see the Achilles team winning this one. I don't really want to waste too much time on it. I mean, look at the squad that Team DD is going to be rolling out there. Justin Herbert, potentially Tyler Algier, Devin Singletary, Devonta Smith, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson, Drake London, and then Taysom Hill or OBJ. It's disgusting. I mean, that's just gross. So we're going to move on from that. Moving to GOAT Squad taking on Chubb Checker. Pretty 50-50-ish in terms of early projection totals. We will have to see what each manager does. I don't know if Gabe Davis gets to start this week after how terrible he's been doing. Does Kyron Williams come back this week? That would be huge if he did. I don't know, though. He expects him to be available for this week, so that will be a huge pick-me-up for the GOAT Squad. Maybe someone can trade for Kyron or Javonte or Gus. Either way, though, I would assume he would be playing for Gabe Davis. So I have a huge advantage here for the GOAT Squad in terms of projections. I'm going to give him the win here. My official win going to the GOAT Squad. Firepower this week is going to be really good. I think the bounce back ability from some of his players, Javonte had a pretty tough week. Even going up against Cleveland, I think he'll be all right. I think Jalen Waddle's going to have a decent week. Brandon Ayuk's going to have a decent week. Probably a really, really good week. And I just don't know if Chubb Checker has the firepower anymore. I don't know if he has, I don't know if his players have that fire in them to really bring out a win for him. And that's why I'm going to go with the GOAT Squad here. Moving on, I have Bigger Than Black and White taking on Team Armani. And what's crazy is that the early projection totals actually have a pretty 50-50 matchup here. Michael Pittman's going to be subbed in here, I'd assume, for A.J. Dillon. Don't quote me on it. And even then, that's going to be a 50-50 total. I think that's insane because of how strong Team Armani is and how strong his team is. To even be in the same stratosphere as Bigger Than Black and White is... look, you have double the amount of wins. I'm still going to go Team Armani here just because I don't have the balls to pick Bigger Than Black and White against Team. I don't have the balls to do it. I have to just, play the numbers game, and I think Team Armani is still going to find a way to win this. His running backs are going to help him out. I will say, although this is not my upset pick of the week, I won't be surprised if this is the upset of the week, upset of the year. But going into my upset pick of the week, officially, we have the Jaxie Pad and Little Giants game. As you can now see, I have the Jaxie Pad squad getting the upset pick of the week. Maybe not starting Deontay or Kareem Hunt in favor of Zach Charbonnet because Kenneth Walker's going to be out. We'll have to see what the official decision is for this team. It's going to be a tough one. I think it's going to come down to that, truthfully. I think if he nails this spot right here, he'll win. And I think he's going to have a huge bounce back week. Jamar Chase didn't do nothing. Olave's coming back. Trey McBride pretty modest. Tony Pollard playing up against Washington. Pacheco playing against Las Vegas. I think it's going to be a good week for this team. Not saying that the Little Giants have bad matchups by any means. I think you're going to have to nail the quarterback here with CJ Stroud or Justin Fields. That's going to be a really big thing for you. Jaxie Pads just has so much more potential to boom this week than the Little Giants. So that's why he's getting my upset pick of the week. And ladies and gentlemen, if you've made it this far, you now see the primetime game of the week. We have the Guardians taking on Team Doyle. Pretty even 50-50 projections as of now. Both teams, besides Aaron Jones, unfortunately, pretty healthy, which is good. No one's on bye as well. So it's full strength. It's full tilt boogie here. I have flexed Team Doyle and the Guardians because I think of all the teams that are 5-6 right now, Team Doyle is the one that I think is going to make the playoffs. So we're going to be highlighting this team in the next few weeks because of the roster and how good they can score. We're going to see if this team can make it. And I'm putting them in prime time up against the Guardians. This should be a great game. One of the highest scoring, I hope, in terms of, entertainment's sake. Looking at it, I think it's actually pretty 50-50 with the matchups. I think both teams here have pretty good advantages and disadvantages. I think you have A.J. Brown here especially. He's going to bounce back in a huge way after only putting up 2 points last week. He's embarrassed. He's not doing that. However, though, Calvin Ridley, expect regression there. On the flip side of that, you had CeeDee Lamb put up a modest game. Maybe he goes off this week against Washington. But then you had Breece Hall do it great last week. Expect regression there. I don't know if you guys maybe agree with this line of thinking. It's kind of where my head goes. With that all being said, I'm still going to go with Team Doyle to win this game. I think he needs to. I think this is a must-win game for Team Doyle because if he loses, falls to 5-7, Team Doyle can't afford that. He's got to be competing in the playoffs this year, and if he doesn't, this is going to be a major disappointment. Gentlemen, that is it for my Week 12 preview. Let me go over my picks one more time. I have Lamar's backpack winning. I have Aaron Rodgers' Achilles winning. I have the GOAT squad winning. I have Team Armani winning. For my upset pick of the week, I have Jaxipad winning. Fuck you for naming their team that. And finally, for the primetime flex game of the Week 12, I have Team Doyle winning. Guys, I hope you all enjoyed. Good luck to everybody in Week 12. Be on the lookout for some pretty cool videos coming to the channel. Have some pretty cool ideas. I've been talking with some people. The video it had to be. It wasn't supposed to be anything crazy, you know. Thanksgiving holiday. I don't got all the time in the world. You guys don't got all the time in the world to watch. Whatever the case may be, I think this is perfect of what it was supposed to be. Hopefully it wasn't too long, but if you needed to have like a long video in the background, maybe this is perfect. With that all out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment down below what you thought. This week we could see a couple teams clinch for the playoffs. We haven't had that yet. Mathematically speaking, Team Armani still clinched in my book. I will see you guys next video. Take care.